Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome to the April 2025 reading, the monthly reading for the collective. Please like this video. Please share this video with anybody that needs to hear the energies and the influence of the week. Of the month, April 2025, which I believe is a numerology month 4, which is 4 is linked to foundation, it's linked to structure, it's linked to the angelic realm. What else do we got going on here? Yeah, comments down below, guys. I would love to see how it resonates. And I think that's it. Let me just jump right in. All right, guys, what do we need? We need deep knowing. Okay, we've had this card in the last weekly, which doesn't surprise me because the last weekly is similar energy because most of that week was in April. So deep knowing is that weird intuitive gift that we have where we just know things. So basically, Spirit is saying we need to listen to that. It's going to be very prominent this month. It's going to be very important this month. It's going to be pretty obvious this month. So definitely tapping into our deep knowing, our claircognizant, as I like to say. That's more the professional term for it, but the official name for it. But yeah, that's really all I have to say here. Action needed. Oh, ecstasy. Ooh, okay. So, very similar to the energy of the Hadanis card in the archetype deck, which I think we got maybe middle of March sometime. Or maybe like a little bit more towards the end of March. But so this is basically saying heightened pleasure, heightened joy, things that are beautiful, art, music, vacationing, travel, Hadanis is more about the indulgent piece. So good food, good wine, good food and drink, like the pleasures of this earth, basically. So, wow. Okay. So basically it's saying action needed. So we need to take action and bring that more of that stuff into our lives. More fun is like another way to put it too. Okay. I don't really have too much more to say on that. Let's see what the rest of the reading has. It's so funny. We have to go from, you know what? I might change the order of this, of the way this is kind of laid out, because the issue and the challenge are like kind of like the Debbie Downers of this reading, because maybe not always, but they're always kind of linked to, okay, what are the problems of the week, basically? Especially if we come off of something so beautiful as the awe ecstasy, but okay, I digress. All right, what do we have issue-wise? Lover. Oh, okay. Great passion and devotion, unbridled appreciation of someone or something. All right. Okay, guys. Okay. We have issues with being a lover. Ooh, you guys can put 2 and 2 together for some of this, because I don't know the guidelines for for YouTube. But we might have issues with passion. We might have issues with devotion. We might have issues with loving someone, whether it's physically loving somebody, emotionally loving somebody. So we might just have issues in this area. I believe in the weekly, if I remember correctly, that we did have issues in the romantic connection area of our lives. This might have something to do with that. But we definitely have issues in this area. Issues with intimacy, again, physical, emotional intimacy, being a good lover, again, interpret that as you will. So we might just have issues in this area. So what I will say, coming off the action needed of the awe ecstasy, maybe that's probably the one area where we might be kind of faulting, or might not be so great, but definitely seeking out the others, food and drink, travel, that kind of thing. Because we might have issues in the love department. That's all I'm going to say, guys. I'm moving on. Okay. Okay, challenge. Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. Okay, so we might have issues with our elders. Might be issues with our grandparents. It could be literally pretty direct in that way. Could have issues with our lineage. Could have issues with where we came from. Maybe we found out who we thought our grandmother is not our grandmother, or something like that, or grandfather, or whatever. Something with our family tree. We're having issues rectifying that, finding out that you know, your great aunt was not such a great person, or something along those lines. Could also be generational trauma in some way, making it, you know, rearing its ugly head. So trauma that we've passed down from generation to generation, something along those lines. But that definitely does feel challenging in that way. But it definitely feels, this reading is for the collective. So there's a large amount of people, and everyone's not going to be going through the exact same thing, but similar, I would say. I definitely feel like it's more heavy on the, something's going on with the family tree, something's going on with the family, something is feeling not right from your roots in some way, shape, or form. So interesting stuff going on there. Again, maybe finding out something that you didn't know about your family that, you know, isn't so great. So that's some interesting stuff. I don't think we've had something like this in a while. So April definitely has its surprises. So, or maybe you saw it coming, I'm not sure. But now I'm excited to see what's under actually surprise. So, okay. Change. I will say, so far with these 4 cards, I haven't seen this energy in a while. So I'm already going to say things are changing in that, from that perspective. Community. Okay, so this is not shocking because we're moving more into a community. I believe this also showed up on the weekly, last weekly, where we had, I think it was in the reflect spot, where we really kind of need to reflect on that. Now it's saying, okay, now we've reflected on it, now let's go out and get that community. Maybe the people that you hang around with in your actual environment are changing. Maybe you are joining a new group. Maybe something is going, we have the elder here, so maybe something is happening with you, you know, changing within your family dynamic. Maybe whatever you find out here, if there's anything to find out, changes the family dynamic, right? Changes the community in some way, shape, or form. But definitely this fares well for people that have been isolated and feel like they don't have a community, because this basically says, like, now you're going to be finding one or getting into one, and feeling more connected in that way, feeling more like you're part of a tribe or a family of some kind. So that is definitely changing, because we're definitely moving to more like a communal type feeling. So that's really good. Okay, focus. What do we need to focus on? Justice. Oh boy. What a good one. Justice also means balance, and it means fairness. So definitely focusing on those types of things in your life. Where do you need to balance? You might need like a work-life balance, or this could quite literally be justice in the way of, like, you know, focusing on a cause, you know, maybe a social justice cause, for example. Focusing on, you can combine these two, right? Maybe you're joining a social justice type community. Maybe you're finding community in social justice. Okay, so that could also be it. So it's saying focus on that. But also, again, could be the balance and the fairness. Are you balancing school and work, for example, or, you know, or something like that? So maybe school and family or something. So it definitely feels like there's areas of life that maybe you need to focus on it and do a better job of time. There's also a clock here, so better job of, like, time management, for example. Okay, reflect. Upside down mother, shadow mother, smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children from becoming independent. All right, toxic mother behavior going on here, archetype. All right, guys, another indication that something's up with family. Okay, so any type of, doesn't have to be your biological mother, any type of mother archetype, could even be the mother archetype within you. Okay, whether you're an actual mother or not. How you could be, I wouldn't take the card too literal, but ways that you can kind of be on the more not so great side of the mother archetype would be smothering your kids, being too overbearing, you know, being like a helicopter mom, abandoning your children. I don't love reading this energy, because I don't think I'm communicating it really well, because mothers already have so much pressure on them today. They're under so much scrutiny, that kind of thing. But this is under reflect, so we're not going after anybody with pitchforks or anything. This is basically saying reflecting on all of those different things. So you could be reflecting on how you are to your children. You could be reflecting on how your mother was or wasn't to you. How maybe you recently decided that you don't want to have children. Why is that? Things like that. So reflect is always asking us to be more introspective and definitely go deeper. So just think about those things. Yeah, there's not too much more I can say about that. Pretty heavy stuff, but again, something weird is going on in the family this month, where things are coming up and coming to the surface to be worked on, to be revealed, that kind of thing. Okay, responsibilities. Dream and journey. Okay, you're responsible for looking ahead, planning ahead, visualizing what you want, understanding your journey, knowing where you want to go. So this requires some type of planning. This requires some type of manifesting, meaning like you have to be clear about where you want to go. Okay, so that's like basically the gist of that. That's like the core of this energy. So understanding where you want to go, it definitely feels like you have more freedom in deciding where you want to go for whatever reason. So your dreams could become a reality. So just start organizing and planning them out, which makes sense because what did I say earlier? We're in a month of 4. 4 is about more structure. So we might have to get more structured when it comes to figuring out where we want to go and what we want to do next. So that is our responsibility. Get organized with that. Money and finances. Okay, we have orphaned. Interesting. Okay, so money, finances, and career. Orphaned. Orphaned is about loneliness. It's about depression. It's about feeling alone and being cut off, for example. So, okay, it's under money and finances. This could be, but we're cut off from something. We're cut off from a bank account. Maybe our parents, speaking of parents, maybe our parents cut us off. Maybe we actually lost a job. Like there's something, like it feels like Spirit is definitely showing me like cutting something. Like we are, it's being taken away from us. And we feel unsupported and we feel, abandoned. We feel like we don't have anybody that we can depend on. So God, that doesn't sound great for under money, finances, and career, but it definitely does feel tough. It definitely feels tough, and it feels like something is taken from us, something is cut off from us, maybe a stream of income, maybe we feel just depressed about our money situation, we feel like nobody's helping us out and we really need help this month or something along those lines. Guys, sorry. I am, between this and the Lover, it's like kind of like, God, this is such a bummer. It's such a bummer. But, yeah, it's, I don't love this. I'm just not going to lie to you guys. I always report the truth here. So, don't love it. Don't love it. What I will say for silver lining, we do have the 5, okay? And the 5 is kind of jumping out to me a little bit. 5 is always about change. It's about adventure, mostly change. So maybe it has something to do with the change slot up here. Maybe we do need to lean more on community. Maybe we need more of a village. Maybe we do need to ask for help from somebody, from maybe your family or parents or something like that. Your kids, maybe you do need like a financial boost from someone. Maybe you need to borrow money, something along those lines. So, but I definitely do feel like the change thing is like saying like things are changing. So to me, I'm looking for a silver lining here for you guys. Maybe it has something to do with this is a temporary situation and things will change, and that's how I'm choosing to look at it. But shout out to anybody maybe going through issues here, money, finances, and career. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, surprise. Music. Okay. Actually, not too much of a surprise, because what did I say up here with ecstasy? I told you about all the kind of like pleasures of arts, of beauty, of that kind of thing. Music fits in that category. Also being creative, right? And so it's under surprise. So could be as specific as music, meaning like you actually, you find an art, you're not too much into music, but you find an artist you really love this month or something, or a concert changes your life, or maybe you are a musician and you get a surprise gig or something like that. To zoom out a little bit more, maybe this has something to do with more creative pursuits. Maybe you get surprised by more of, doesn't have to be music, could be, again, arts of some kind. Maybe you surprise yourself with an art project, or you surprise yourself with how creative you are, or something along those lines. But your creative self is definitely coming out, and it'll surprise you in some way, shape, or form. Friends, shapeshifter, shadow, projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. Okay, so this is about, honestly, it's kind of similar to people pleaser type energy, because it's basically saying like you'll shift into anything, and that's not, it's not in the light, so it's in the shadow. So it's not saying like you're adaptable, you're resourceful, that kind of stuff. It's actually saying you're putting on different masks to kind of fit into different areas of different friend groups, or different, could be different communities, since we have the community card of what's changing. But maybe that is what's changing. Maybe you are around people, or you have been around people where you do have to wear a mask, where you don't feel like you're yourself, that you don't fit in anymore, that you need to kind of shift and move from, because it definitely feels like you have to do certain things to fit in somewhere, and it's going to catch up to you this month. So again, that could be why your community is changing, or how you interact with that community could be changing. It doesn't have to be the community change, if that makes sense. So maybe if you have been wearing masks, maybe you're putting down the mask, that kind of thing. So interesting. Okay, romantic connection. Come on, let's do something good. Stag, trust and thrive. Okay, so this isn't bad, which is good, because we have that lover card up there that's like, I don't know. Issues in the bedroom, issues in the intimacy department, that kind of thing. Again, emotionally or physically. So basically this is saying trust and thrive. So this is about headstrong type energy. This is about taking the lead. This is about thriving, even under the masculine. So this could mean so many different things. Thriving under yang energy. Okay. So more dominant energy. So this could be that you are tapping into your more dominant side. This could mean that you are taking the lead more in your relationship. Doesn't matter what kind of gender you are, it doesn't really matter. This applies to everybody. Maybe you are taking more of the lead in your relationship. I don't think there's too much more I can say to this, but I actually see this like as a positive thing. Okay, so if you're in the relationship and you wanted your partner to be more dominant, this could mean that yes, you're getting what you actually want. So I see it in like a positive way, not in a negative. So again, if you're brave enough, you guys can let me know down below what the the issue is with the lover. Again, if you're brave enough. Okay, important. We have loyal heart. Okay, there we go. Important. So people that are loyal to you, people that are there for you. So it's saying that, it's important to acknowledge these people, to show appreciation for these people. Yeah, I think that's it. Not too much more I can say there, but take care of the people that take care of you. I'm going to leave it at that. All right, health and wellness. Come on. Okay, the hunt. Okay, so this is going after something. So this is basically saying don't wait for it. Go after it, right? Look for it, even if you don't have the answers to something. So, of course, my mind is going to what I've been going through, chronic illness. Okay, I know so many people in the space that don't even know sometimes what's wrong with them, or what foods they react to, or what will help them make them better. What is actually making them sick, okay? So this fares well for that, because it's saying don't give up. It's saying, it's kind of like go the distance, but not really, because that's actually more about momentum. This is about searching, really looking for it, going after what you actually want. So this is saying don't give up, okay? If I always use like a weight loss journey as well in here. This is about saying going after what you want. So maybe you've had a plateau of some kind and you're feeling not so great. So this is basically saying keep going, right? Go after what you actually want. Keep your eye on the prize kind of thing. Keep hunting, keep going. Mental health journey example. Maybe you're just not where you're at. Maybe you're trying to have a breakthrough of some kind and you just feel like you're stuck. It's saying, keep going. Maybe you're in therapy because you're trying to figure out what you want to do with your life or something like that. Keep going, keep looking for it, right? It's basically saying keep looking, keep going. So I think you guys get that. And last but not least, overall outcome. Knights, loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. Okay, so there's more loyalty. Okay. Being kind, being chivalrous, being courteous, being appreciative, I already mentioned with this important card. Being there for people. So very interesting to end the month here. Because first of all, now that we've pulled all the cards and I can, zoom out and look at everything, there's definitely something here with family, as I mentioned. There's definitely something here with finding more community, and how you interact with that community. And there's definitely something to say about loyalty, and that always kind of sometimes, not all family is loyal, but sometimes that does link to family as well. So there's something going on here with family stuff. Okay, when we got the mother card here, I mean, come on. So stuff is happening, and what is that stuff? I mentioned a few things like during the reading, but I do feel like it's an overall positive outcome. I do feel like by the end of the month, we'll strengthen our relationships, and obviously that's a positive thing. And again, this orphan card is kind of throwing me off a little bit because it's kind of like saying like a lesson that we may learn. Again, not for everybody, but I feel like I need to throw this out there. Sorry about the ambulance, guys. Maybe we learn, who's there for us in like our tough times, or maybe we learn that career maybe isn't everything and we need to balance more and lean more on family or community, and we need to focus a little bit more on that part of life, and that's kind of what's shifting here. That could be it for sure. But very, very, again, my word, interesting energy coming up, because I haven't had a lot of these in a while. So just based on that, I would say April is definitely a month of change for sure. And as I mentioned already, April is a numerology month 4. What comes after 4 is 5. So next month is May, and so that's a 5. So there is some changes obviously going to be happening then as well, because 5 is linked to change. So this might be something like more foundational, like maybe we need to really focus on family being a little bit more foundational as we move forward, or community being a little bit more foundational, right? That kind of thing. So that's all I'm going to leave you guys with. So I think it's a pretty good month. I think it looks good. Again, some things kind of worry me a little bit. Again, if you're brave, please let me know what the Lover card means to you. The Lover in the shadow, let me know. In the issue, I should say, I think it came up in the light. Yeah, it's in the issue. Yeah, guys. And also, if you have questions, put them down below too. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful month of April, and I'll see you next time. And I always appreciate you, and have a good month. Bye.